We're going to start momentarily. I'm trying to wait for more people to get in the room. We're going to start in a minute, though. and gentlemen, we're going to start, and we're going to start momentarily. I'm trying to wait for a few people to get in the room. We'll start momentarily. Welcome to the Iceman Show podcast. Be right back at you. What's up? Triple T Kill, what's happening, baby? You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? Decided to do a second weekly Iceman Show podcast because you know how we do it. If that bitch can't swim, she bound to drizzle. Like we do about this time. You digs. I am your host, your faithful host, the Iceman, your brother. And if you about that 06 life, my fraternity brothers. Just want to welcome you to the Iceman Show podcast. Got a little trap playing in the background. This is a beat I did last year when I first got my MPC X and was playing around with it. And it's just something I do for the show. I'm not gonna build on that beat. I'm just gonna let it do what it do. You digs what I'm saying? But anyway, decided to do it a second installment of the Iceman Show podcast, the Kamala Harris deception. This is part 2. And we're going to talk about some of the issues we didn't discuss on Tuesday. So we're going to wrap that up today. We're going to break down all of the things that, all the political implications and what is at stake for foundational indigenous Black people. And to further explain what I mean by foundational Black people, the reason why I say we're foundational is because we were already here. And I'll give you proof. Let me show you proof. Let me turn this light on. Make sure I got it out. A lot of brothers probably already know about this book. It's called The African Presence in Ancient North. It's supposed to say North America, but it's say ancient. Well, I know what he means. He means North America, Central America, and South America. In America, they came before Columbus. And this book was written by a brother. His name was Dr. Ivan von Sertima. He has some videos on YouTube, really old videos from the 90s. He just died about, I think, less than 10 years ago. But this is a picture of one of the Olmec statues that have been found all over southern Mexico and other Central American countries, which and there's these big bust heads. These bust heads have big lips, wide noses. Some of them have afros. They don't show those. They don't show the Olmec statues that have afros and also braids and dreads. Because, you know, dreads and braids, that comes from Africa. Our sisters brought that over here from Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? That's not something that American Black women came up with. They brought that from Africa. And now everybody else is copying it. But they have these big, huge concrete statues of ones with afros and braids and dreads. Okay? This is one of the books out here that proves the Black man had already immigrated to the Americas, but he was also coming here to trade. Look up Cairo, Illinois. There's some secrets that them white folks know about, and there's a reason why they call it Cairo. There's proof that Egyptian brothers lived in that area. That's why they call it Cairo, Illinois. But this is a great book to get. If you a brother that read, because a lot of these sisters don't, you know, if they don't get their news from Madame Noir or Blavity or Bap or what's the other gossip sites, Ballers, Boss Lady, or Boss whatever the hell, The Root. That's where they get their news from. Black men read. So if you want to get this book, I bought this off of Amazon about 5 years ago. Good book. It's a hard read. If you're a Catholic, if you probably like grad school and above, you can read this. But it's like reading a Randall Robinson book. Anybody ever read a Randall Robinson book? That brother was using words I have never heard of. I'm like, what the hell? If you don't have my book, get my book, because I talk about white supremacy and I talk a lot about Tulsa in here. Though I talk about Black Wall Street in here. This is my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get this book at asktheiceman.com, or you can get it at asktheiceman.com. Amazon.com. Also get it at my website, asktheiceman.com. And scroll down to the add to cart button and go ahead and order this, and I will autograph it for you and I'll send it to you. Okay. My second book is called The Dating Bible. It's going to be all dating. But anyway, as you already know, every time there's an election that comes, there's always the Democratic Party's always trots their candidates around, people that we haven't chosen. They trot their candidates around to tell us, "Hey, Negroes, these are the candidates you're gonna vote on. We're not gonna give you somebody you want. We're gonna give you somebody we picked," which is hella flawed, as you can see. And they trot these people out and they say, "Hey, Negroes, this is who you're gonna vote for." And because why? Because they know you're not gonna do any research. You're not gonna research these people. See, in the era of technology, the internet, or as Big Mama used to say, the internets, like there's more than one of them. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Yeah, that's right. Ivan Van Sertima. Yep, Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark are one of our ancestors. You know, he transitioned a few years back. I watched some of Dr. Henry Clark's videos. Very informative. Brother was ahead of his time, man. But they trout their picks for the office or whatever they're running for, and they say, "This is who you're going to vote for." And because we have been powerless in this country for so long, we just went along with it. We did. We just went along with it until now. And I'm going to tell you who's leading the charge. A lot of these young sisters who are in college or they just graduated from college in their mid-20s, these young sisters, these young brothers, and some of the cats that are tail end baby boomers like me, who y'all call woke or hurt or hotel, being derogatory and disrespectful toward us because we speak the truth and you take your talking points from white zaddy and white mommy because you are mammy. Mammy! Mammy! So they tell us high tides lift all boats. But if you really listen to what we say during our campaign speeches or our caucus speeches, primary speeches, we're talking about helping LGBT. We talk about helping illegal immigrants. They don't say nothing about, okay, we're going to give these black folks reparations, because if it wasn't for black men building this country and black people being the first commodity traded on Wall Street, that's who we are. We're foundational. We built this country and nobody ever said thank you. All the inventions that black men came up with that drove the industrial revolution in this country, with rails, with automobiles, with machinery, tool and die. A lot of that stuff was invented by black men. Thomas Edison didn't do shit without his black assistant who gave him the filament to put in a goddamn light bulb. This dumb motherfucker thought he was going to turn a light on with no filament. All Thomas Jefferson came up with, I mean, not Thomas Jefferson, but Edison came up with was the light, was the encasing. The brother was over there creating the filament. Just like you see movies like the movie with Mos Def, where he played the janitor at Johns Hopkins Hospital, or research hospital and medical school, and how he helped revolutionize heart surgery. He wasn't even a doctor. That's how brilliant black men are. And all the household, almost all of the household tools that are used in the kitchen were invented by black women. But they didn't get none of the patents for it because they were slaves. Yeah, I heard about Synthetic G getting knocked up. I wonder if that thingy thing down there is synthetic, like them bundles. How y'all doing? My name is Synthetic G, and my name is Synthetic G, and I'm modeling my new do. I got some bundles from, and it's called Hawaiian Silky. You digs? What up, J504 HD? What up, yo? Hey, y'all, hit the Cash App, man. Hit the Cash App. We're doing the $3.99 donations tonight, man. That's just $3.99, bro. That's how we doing it. Word. You digs? That's how we getting it. That's how we getting it popping. Just $3.99, fellas. That ain't a whole lot of money, but we need to contribute. Okay. Or, you know, do the Cash App. My handle on the Cash App is $ the Iceman. Oh, I got the Iceman man. Shit. Let me change that. On Cash App, it's $ capital TH. Y'all can see it. There it is right there. Hey, do you have Cash App on your phone? Yeah, either do the Cash App or go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and just do it. You can do one or the other. I had guys hit me up and say, "Hey, Ice, you need to offer a couple other things other than PayPal." And I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So that's why I hooked up the Cash App. So if y'all want to do Cash App, that's a straight transaction. I don't even think they charge any fees like they do on PayPal. PayPal be playing games too. Come sending me an email talking crazy. I'm like, man, y'all better get off me before I go to somebody else. I can deal directly with my bank. It's just really the business transaction percentage is just high. It's just too high, man. You're gonna charge somebody 3.5% to process a $10 donation? Are you serious? Nah, I ain't giving you that kind of loot. But then I ain't gonna put up with PayPal playing games either. Anyway, yeah, Palin's Rising. Yeah, go to PayPal, or you could just go straight to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button, and I'm already hooked up with PayPal. It'll automatically pull your info once you put your name in there. Your name and your email in there. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. Is just go to asktheiceman.com. I just put the link in the chat room. Okay, guys. Anyway, until now, they had free-flowing success in presenting anybody to Black society as saying, this is going to be your next congressman. This right here going to be your next governor. This person right here is going to be you're going to have to choose a presidential candidate with the caucus people who are voting, or the primary people who are voting. You have to pick a president out of this pool of people that we pre-chose for you. Those days are over with. And this whole thing with Kamala Harris is an example of that. It's a serious backlash with Black millennials and Black Gen Xers. And some cats that are in my middle age range, a lot of them ain't going for the bullshit either. A lot of them are like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. See, a lot of these cats that support Kamala Harris, a lot of these brothers are cowards. These are guys that are who like Kamala Harris because they don't know anything about her, and they're not gonna do any research to find out what kind of person she really is, which is a person who despises Black people, especially Black men. Which is why, and that's not just why she's with a white man. Remember, she was Willie Brown, my frat brother. Remember, she used sexual favors to get stuff out of Willie Brown when he was the Speaker of the Assembly in California, probably the third most powerful or the second most powerful man in the state of California as far as the state government is concerned. That guy wields a whole lot of power. And so he got her hooked up on commissions she wasn't even qualified for, like certifying nurse assistant commission or vocational nurse commission. She wasn't no nurse. She wasn't no RN. She wasn't no doctor. She wasn't a hospital administrator. What is she doing on that commission? Well, Willie Brown hooked her up. Okay. And of course, don't nobody do nothing for free, especially in politics. It's always quid pro quo. You do for me, I do for you. Usually when a man does for a woman, well, you know how that goes. You know what you got to give up. And it's going to be more than your time. Okay? He wants you to work it with no hands. And if he say jump, you better say how high. Especially when he's wielding that kind of power to make phone calls to ruin your life if you don't, if you don't reciprocate. And still, that's not a situation where there's a man taking advantage of a woman. Because if you're over 18 years old, you considered a woman unless you got some kind of mental defect or some mental incapacitation. Otherwise, we consider you to be a healthy, red-blooded woman whose body is functioning and brain is functioning. So if you get mixed up in some quid pro quo, which a lot of you ladies love to do because you're living in a man's world, although you want to believe you're not. Otherwise, this kind of nonsense wouldn't be going on. Or this kind of tomfoolery wouldn't be going on. You digs? And so she was on that commission as well. I think it was another one too that she was on. And, you know, in exchange, in exchange for giving Willie Brown, you know, in exchange for Willie Brown hooking her career up and giving her career a boost, she allowed him to provide her with that San Francisco treat, if you know what I mean. Willie Brown was giving her some of his rice-a-roni. Thank you, brother. Hey, Terry Diamonds, they ain't the way a church deacon supposed to be acting, man. They ain't what a church deacon supposed to be saying, bruh. Anyway, so Willie Brown hooked her up with those commissions. It got her a boost. And for her to go from those commissions to being, you know, Willie Brown helped her get elected as the, you know, County of San Francisco District Attorney. She said, oh, well, he just, you know, he wasn't that helpful. Bullshit, he wasn't. Willie Brown is still powerful, and he ain't even in politics right now. He's still balling with his old player ass. Willie Brown is a player. I mean, like, you know, you can't see him, but Willie Brown is from way back. He a player from the Himalayas. You understands me? I have never not seen Willie Brown not be clean in a $1,000 suit. Never. They can say he's self-serving. They can say he, you know, he got a lot of bootay. But hey, they're just mad because a black man was getting some play. A black man was getting some money. So what? He was self-serving. Everybody is self-serving. Hell, a lot of you women are self-serving. You taking that child support, getting your hair and nails did. You paying your car note with the child support money. So who ain't self-serving? Everybody is self-serving to a degree. Just cut it out with the hypocrisy. Now, Kamala Harris, let me just talk about the personal side for a second. We're going to jump to her political career. For some reason, they don't talk about Kamala Harris's life as a child. They don't talk about any of that. And I was listening to Yvette Carnell today, and she was talking about how they don't talk about her upbringing. They try to act like her life just started 20 years ago, but they don't want you to know about anything else. And she read an essay that her dad wrote. Now, you know, he is one of these elite Jamaicans. They always light skinned. And some of them even are of mixed heritage. They're usually white, black, because I've seen some Jamaicans that I thought were like Cuban or Costa Rican or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not Hispanic. I'm Jamaican. I'm Indian, I'm black, I'm white. But they just look like somebody that might be, you know, Puerto Rican or Cuban or something like that. They have that phenotype. But then they start talking, and it's like, it's like, your bomba clad, Miguana, your Rasta clad, bomba clad, boop, 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 boop. I think in Jamaica, that's a word. I don't know what that shit mean. Where my Jamaican players at? What does book, book, book mean? Why y'all be doing that? Y'all be cracking me up with that, man. So he was bragging about how his maternal grandmother or great grandmother or great grandfather were slave owners in Jamaica. They were Caucasian folks who probably came straight over from England, and they had a plantation there on that island. And he was bragging about how he came. He was bragging like that's, he's elite. Like he's an elite, he's got this elite delusion or fantasy in his head. How could you be bragging about coming from some people that owned your damn party old DNA, mug? Bruh? What you talking about? And he was bragging about that. So he was one of these Negroes. Even when he came to America, he didn't consider himself a Negro. He didn't consider himself black. So, and it's just like Yvette Carnell said. She said, you have to understand something. See, when you start going back in this woman's history, her personal history, and we have the right to do that because she's a public figure. So we have the right to do that. Okay. So all of these folks in the media, or all these shills for these black shills for the Democratic Party, Bakari Sellers and some of these other clowns. Don't let them shame you into not wanting to do research on this woman's background. She's talking about possibly running for president. She ain't gonna get past the primaries. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. She's not a strong enough candidate. They're just trying to force her down our necks right now. They're trying to do pre-game warm-ups on us. That's what they're doing right now. They're priming the generator in order to get it started. That's what they're doing to us. They're trying to get us in line. They're trying to test the waters with us, and they're about 50. I'm not gonna put a percentage quantification on it, but I would say that her numbers are not good, especially amongst Gen X and black Gen Xers and black millennials. They're doing horribly with them because they are tired of the cooning, the mammying, the Negro bedwenching, and all these in the cooning that a lot of blacks my age and older have been doing for the past 50 years. They're tired of it. They're tired of it. They're like, look, I want to be part of the political process, but give me somebody that I can trust, that I know came from the streets, that I know got our back, and that's talking about our agenda, not their agenda, which is always about their agenda, not your agenda. And a lot of you scary Negroes, you sit there and your grill is cooking because I'm telling the truth. The Democratic Party ain't done a goddamn thing for you, but you don't want to admit it because you're in denial. And you sitting up here talking about, oh, well, I think Julio Castro, Elizabeth Warren ticket will be great. You're sitting around pondering fantasies. Nobody that's in that pool that said they're willing to put they don't put their bid in so they can be part of the caucuses that are coming up and primaries that are coming up. These people, none of those folks have any swag that black folks are willing to support. None of them. I'm gonna tell you right now, if they stick Julio Castro up there, black folks are really gonna go ham. They already going ham on Kamala Harris. Then you're gonna put a Mexican up there. No offense toward Mexican Americans or Chicanos, but y'all ain't exactly thanked us for helping y'all asses come over here getting all these good benefits that was skipped over us, that were given to you. And that's why some of you guys are starting to move up to the middle class and even the upper middle class and upper class. We ain't got a thank you from them yet. So you think I don't give a damn if the guy was Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio's Cuban. I'm not supporting any Latino candidate. That real talk. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that I'm not. They're not me. They're not my people. Just like they're over there saying, hey, those mayatas ain't my people. Okay? Those niggers over there are not my people. Not when you got the Nazi lowriders riding around LA, busting gats at brothers or busting gats at killing black people with impunity. I'm not supporting no Latino candidate, and this country ain't gonna never put a Latino up there because too many of them got a past. Hell, some of them ain't even survived cabinet assignments. Bill Clinton's HUD secretary used to be the mayor of Stank Antonio, and all he was doing was chasing women. I don't think he lasted more than a year or two before he had to quit. I ain't vote for no woman. Well, why you ain't vote for no woman, Ice? Let me tell you why I ain't vote for no woman. Because if you brothers are sick of gynocentrism and LGBTism and all this feminist gynocentric politics that have been the bane of your existence the last 50 years, that's why I don't want no female president. Because every last one of those women, if they if they thought they'd get votes, but it's just a popularity contest. It's just like a survey that you see on Facebook where it says, do you think One Direction is better than New Kids on the Block? Yes or which one's better? It's what they're doing right now is a waste of time. They're just fundraising millions of dollars, insane amounts of money, and none of these people are going to even get to the actual death match with Trump. And let me tell you something, Trump might be a reality show star, but you cannot, even though he might not know politics, you cannot recognize and respect the way he does. We talking about, destroying his opponent with his mouth. He's a master at that shit. Okay? He talks shit like how black men talk shit to each other, especially when we playing cards, we playing poker, or we playing Bitwiz, talking shit, or we playing Bones. Donald Trump, he's a reality show star. Shit, he even wasn't he on WWF a couple of times? Like, 10, 15 years ago when he was younger, acting a fool. Donald Trump knows how to fight. He's a New Yorker. He knows how to throw down. And he's petty as hell. His pettiness is what makes him who he is. While you might not like that, you're in the minority. You are in the minority. Real talk. And I'm telling you right now, they better have somebody who can match him, because Hillary Clinton was getting her cankles handed to her. He didn't have to know about Syria. He didn't have to know about what's going on in Afghanistan and Iraq as far as local politics is concerned. The rebuilding of the economy there in Iraq, totally eradicating Al Qaeda and ISIS. He didn't have to know any of that stuff. All he had to do was get up there and make her look stupid, which is what he did. Let me tell you something. A lot of men in this country, especially boomers like me and older, a lot of men don't want to admit it, but they would rather have Donald Trump in there than any of these other little weak motherfuckers in there. And let me tell you why. A lot of men respect his get down. They respect, even though he might be a white nationalist and he might be, he throws a lot of dumb stuff out there in the atmosphere. He's not a dummy. And he behaves the way an alpha male is supposed to behave. He don't let these feminist women push him around. He's willing to grab his dick and talk shit, even though, his dick ain't no bigger than a mushroom, from what I heard, allegedly. You can talk all the shit you want about Donald Trump, but the thing you can't argue with is the fact that he ain't no coward. He's willing to throw down, and he's showing balls to these other leaders around the world, especially the ones that are patriarchal societies like China is. Those other presidents, they might not like him personally, but they respect him. I bet you President Xi over there in China, I bet you he won't fuck with Donald Trump. That's why every time some shit don't go China's way, what do? They whine to Russia. They whine to Russia and North Korea. They're all allies. But Donald Trump knows to throw garbage language out there to throw people off that sound like he don't know what he's talking about. But it's brilliant because other countries are hearing this stuff and they're like, oh, well, we got to change our trade policies with Donald Trump. That's why the economy, especially with the Dow Jones Industrial and the NASDAQ and the S&P, you notice, there's a lot of inconsistency. But after a while, after these trade agreements start bearing fruit, it's going to look a lot different, because what Obama was doing was giving away the damn candy store. That's how you think about it. And we're going to get back to Kamala Harris in a second. How do you think China surpassed because they really already have, how their economy is booming compared to ours? It's because of policies of past presidents. And I'm going to tell you right now, Obama was giving away the candy store. He signed, I don't know how many lopsided trade agreements. That's why we lose so many jobs. And you have to understand something. That's why I keep telling people the economy affects everybody, and it affects every facet of our society. Not everything runs on money. You might run on Dunkin' Donuts, but this country runs on money. So you can be ridiculous somewhere else. Go take your ass somewhere else. We trying to handle man business here. So he put us in a position where these other countries can continue to buy up our real estate, which is what China is doing. They're buying billions of dollars in commercial real estate, particularly in California. So they're selling real estate, and they're selling all our real estate. Well, it ain't ours. Some ruling class asshole. They're selling everything. It's a fire sale right now. And the Chinese, their banks are loaning them billions of dollars, and they're buying up every goddamn thing. While black folks are in the same position they were in doing reconstruction. We only own 1/2 of 1% of wealth in this country, which is the same, which has been unchanged since 1866. Yet we got black women running around here talking about we get more degrees than anybody else. Yeah, but you ain't got no wealth, and your net worth is on the average $5. So that includes the hood rats in the projects, or the ones that on Section 8 and on welfare, and you with your degree. And to top it off, you have no power. None. You got less power in America than black men. Black men got less jobs, but yet our net worth is higher than yours. So see, you don't have to look past that quantification to realize that something is not right. But economics affects every facet of this society. And you're a moron if you don't think so. You can't even be homeless in this country for free. Water ain't even free in America. Air is damn near not free in America. And the white supremacists have made it that way. The average family of 4 can't even afford to go drive 300 miles to some place to have a quick weekend getaway. The average family of 4 can't even afford to do it. Why? Because their income ain't going up. You got wages were higher, and fine for inflation, apply inflation, but wages were higher in 1967 than they are today. Can you believe that? Back in the day, you could work at Sears, popping popcorn. Remember they said that popcorn counter and the hot peanuts and all that stuff? That person's back there making $1.75 an hour. They could afford to own a home and 2 cars and be the main breadwinner of the family. But the Federal Reserve has destroyed they continue to destroy our economy since 1913. That's how the Rothschilds banking system got into our system. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a tidbit of, I'm gonna give you a freebie real quick. The reason why America keeps talking about North Korea, Iran, and Syria, I'm not gonna talk about Venezuela, because Venezuela, there's another reason why they hate Venezuela. But North Korea, Syria, and Iran, the reasons why they continue to harass those three countries and say that they're either manufacturing terrorism or they're a threat, they're a threat to the world. I mean, most people don't believe, although the Fox News crowd does believe, but we don't believe that, Kim Jong-un is going to push any kind of nuclear. He doesn't have any nuclear capabilities. And even the ICBM missiles that he has that can hit South Korea, it hit Seoul, because Seoul's only like 50 miles in past the DMZ. And that's really would be his only target, is to hit Seoul. He could do that, but he ain't gonna do that. He ain't stupid, because he'll start World War III, because we got too much money wrapped up in owning some of those companies that have Korean people in front of them. A lot of those companies are also American owned. Okay. Oh, it's a lot. If I had the health and the time to sit here for 6 or 7 hours, I'd give you so much information, but I ain't going to do that for free. Okay. I'm not going to do it for free. Anyway, the reason why they keep shitting on those three countries is because the Rothschilds international banking system has not infiltrated their banks. They keep the Rothschilds banking system out of their countries. North Korea has their own banks. Syria has their own banks. Iran has their own banks. They are a theocracy. They do not allow American bankers in there. They do a lot of business with the UK, though. They do a lot of they buy a lot of their vehicles, trucks, stuff like that. They do a lot of commerce with them, and they also own, was it the Strait of Hamas or something like that? There's a waterway that those tankers have to, and those major logistic ships have to go through. So they talk a lot of shit on Fox News about talking about we're going to bomb Iran. I tell you what, I don't think you want to do that, because Iran has a very strong military. They ain't like Iraq. They'll fight back, and they have money, because they're still selling a whole lot of oil. Don't let them fool you. While they sit up here and talk shit about Iran, Chevron and BP and all them oil companies still buying that oil from their ass. Don't let them fool you with that bullshit. They always lie. Just like they lied about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, bro. He might not have had that much liquid in the bank, but Michael Jackson owned 8% of EMI music publishing, and he owned at least 60 to 70% of Sony ATV music, which was what? The Beatles, Elvis, and some other big name iconic acts. They had to get that back. And when they did, Michael Jackson bought it for $300 million and then turned around and sold shit. He got $200 million coming from EMI Music Publishing, his estate does. And then they sold My Jack Music sold back his shares of Sony ATV Music for how much? $700 and some million. They probably had to pay about $150 million in taxes. But it was damn near, with those two deals between EMI and Sony ATV, that was damn near $1 billion deal. Plus, Michael Jackson's music is still selling big time. Every time there's some big project that pops up, or Michael Jackson's name is in the media's mouth, you notice his sales go up. There's still a lot of people who ain't got Thriller. Shit, I bought like 5 copies of Thriller. I kept one, sent one to one of my siblings. I think I sent one to my daughter. Yeah, I sent one to my daughter. And I might go out here and buy 50 of them, just give them away to people who ain't got, that first album. I don't buy that remix album. I buy the original Thriller album so he can still get them, because I get tired of talking about, the Eagles, they sold 33 million copies, they greatest hits. That's our greatest hits. Michael sold almost 100, it was probably almost 200 million of Thriller, one album. And that's not including the other albums he sold. Fuck out of here. Eagles ain't got Michael Jackson had more talent in his pinky toe than the Eagles combined as a band. Fuck out of here with that boring ass shit. Anyway, y'all done got me. Y'all done got my goddamn blood pressure up. And then what Big Mommy say, y'all done got my goddamn pressure up. But you go ahead, put the hat to the side. I'm about to put some work in. But anyway, that you see, that's how they tell lies. That's how they tell their lies. And we don't have time to do the real research that it takes to know that these people are playing us. And again, a lot of Gen Xers and millennials and some of us tail end baby boomers, we ain't going for that bullshit. You ain't gonna stick that woman in front of us and fool us like y'all did with Obama. Mr. I'm singing Al Green songs. We get bad renditions of Stay Together. Let's stay together. Instead of getting some policies and some benefits and some reparations. We over here playing games and hooping and hollering over a sitting president getting up there terrorizing some of Al Green's greatest hits. Just destroyed that goddamn song. He murdered it. That's what we get. We get fake dancing to Cardi B. But anyway, getting back to her daddy. Her daddy is one of these elitists, black elitists. He's one of these, I'm better than the rest of these Negroes type Negroes. And of course, he probably walked around acting like he wasn't black. So imagine if we fast forward to 2019 and we look at this woman, Kamala Harris, we realize that this woman did not grow up in a home where people were proud to be who they were. Definitely wasn't, she didn't grow up in a house where people said, I'm black and I'm proud, because she doesn't consider, her aunt even said she considers herself Indian. And all the high achieving Indians on her mother's side, she talks about how they influenced her. And I'm gonna get to why probably, she got influenced to go to a historically black college, a very fine institution, Howard University. They don't talk about, because didn't she go to school in Canada? Didn't she go to get her bachelor's degree in Canada? Then she came over here. Was she even born here? If you're born in another country, you can't become president. So there must be something where, she was born here, because I don't have time to sit down and look at her autobiography. I'm not all that interested. But I'm gonna get to some of that personal stuff in a minute. But let me quarterback this thing. So with her, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know too much about her background. I'm talking about like her childhood and all that. They're not really all that interested in us knowing any of that. But like I said, that's why you got to get up off your dead ass and do your research on people. If you want somebody to be your commander in chief, and you mean to tell me you ain't gonna do no background work on them? You ain't gonna go to try to find out who this person is and what before you start getting behind that person, supporting them? If you don't, you're a child. That's not what adults do. See, we're used to being treated like children by Caucasian society. We're so used to it that we don't notice it until somebody brings it up and say, hey, man, what the fuck is wrong with us? This telling us who we gonna vote for shit, that shit ain't gonna fly right now, dog. That ain't gonna fly in 2019. I'm not saying she's receiving enough vitriol for her to quit at this point, because she's not going to do it. The money is flowing in. She just raised $1.5 million or something. So the money is coming in. When they got that kind of cash coming in, they ain't going to give up, because money is most of the fight. But the approach that they're hitting us with is insulting. That all we care about is what her playlist is on her iPhone in iTunes. I don't give a damn what she listened to. If she says she listened to Mozart, I wouldn't give a damn. I wouldn't scratch my ass 2 times. It doesn't matter to me what she listens to. But don't sit up here and tell black folks that we're wrong for checking this heifer. That we're wrong for smelling bullshit and calling bullshit. I wear Converse sneakers. I wear Chuck Taylor sneakers. See, her marketing people are telling her to do that shit. All that. Let's pretend this is Cardi B. This ain't Cardi B, all right? Here she up there. All offbeat, no rhythm, no. She just. That shit was extraneous. That shit was painful to look at. Wasn't it? That shit was painful. Because it was so phony and fake. And real niggas caught that shit. Where my real niggas at? Real niggas caught that shit. It was like, oh, hell no. We ain't going for this shit. Who the fuck is these honkies? Who is this broad? You just gonna stick her in front of us? Oh, she power to the people. It was painful to watch that. And then they had her talking about, oh, I wear Converse sneakers when I walk and when I work out. I know damn good and well she don't wear Chuck Taylors. I guarantee she don't wear Chuck Taylor. She might very well have a couple pair of Converse, but I doubt it very seriously. She might have them. I don't know, but I don't think she did it because she's half black. That's what I'm trying to say. She didn't do it because of her race. She bought Converse because she wanted Converse. I don't think she checked online to see black focus groups to see what, tennis shoes we buy. Actually, a lot of black people buy Nikes, not Converse. Maybe back in the 80s when a lot of brothers was into Dr. J and all of that, yeah. Because those are the only Converse I really like was the Dr. J's. I wish they start making them shits again. We used to call them J's. But, and then they had her talking about, she was like, well, what music do you play at the barbecue? That was really offensive. That was hella. If y'all don't tell me that wasn't insulting. Every black person know barbecue. What kind of racist shit is that? That's just like saying, well, Kamala, you like chicken and watermelon? Because all niggas love chicken and watermelon. That was offensive. Like every nigga's out here barbecuing all the time. What the fuck? You don't tell, man, I'm telling you, dog, that shit is insulting. And if it's not insulting to you, you must be dead. See, that's what we get. We get racist innuendo. Oh, I think that's what these niggas do. Just because you done seen 2 or 3 black people do something, you think we all do it. And then the most offensive thing that she said, and I think my man's family should say something to that broad about that. She said, they said, well, what music do I play at the barbecue? She was like, oh, I play Salt and Pepper when it's Salt and Pepper. I guarantee the last time she heard Push It, it wasn't on her iPhone. It wasn't on her iPod. Fuck out of here. Then she said, this is the most egregious of her actions. This heifer said, I listen to Tribe Called Quest. Ain't that right, Fife Dog? How disrespectful can you get? This dumb heifer didn't even know Fife Dog been dead almost 2 years. Or over 2 years. You know how disrespectful that is? If you didn't fact check, what you should have did is had your handlers fact check. So you didn't offend millions of hip hop fans, millions of Tribe Called Quest fans, and millions of Fife Dog fans. That's disrespectful to his legacy and who he was as a man and an artist, and to his family. And you talking about you want to be president, and you making huge mistakes that have risen. That wasn't a mistake. That was a fuck up. That was a major fuck up. That was a royal fuck up. How unprepared to deal with the black society are you? you're not prepared. Is that the kind of bumba-clad motherfucker, rude boy bumba-clad that you want as a fucking president? Tell me you don't want that. Tell me you don't want this woman. In no way has she ever said that I was black. There is no record of her ever saying that. But she was getting some of Willie Brown's black rice-a-roni. He was definitely slipping her that San Francisco treat, wasn't he? Come on, ladies. You know you want to see Willie Brown, an 80-year-old man, in them boxers with them rusty-ass skinny legs. After he done took his Niagara. Okay? Come on, ladies. Now, I know you want to picture that. Dig if you will. Them ashy-ass legs. He's like, come on, turn your ass over on your stomach. Let me tear that ass up. Them old niggas tell you what they want, don't they? They're like, girl, I ain't got all that. I got to go home to my wife. You got to go home to your man. Let me go ahead and knock this ass out real quick. Turn over on your stomach. You know how you like it good. Let me give you some of this San Francisco treat. Okay? Y'all know y'all like that. What up, Brown Sauces? Love you, brother. Yeah, exactly. JL 504 HD. Kamala Harris was stiff as plywood. Thank you, brother. Stiff as plywood. So phony. I said to myself, the only way you can contact Fife Dog, lady, is to get you a Ouija board or have a seance. Get you a mediator. I don't think you're going to like the results. But that was a major blunder on her part, and it was embarrassing. Now, I'm not embarrassed like I'm claiming her I'm embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed that this woman is being, passed along to us like we should just accept any old garbage, because that's what she is. She's garbage. You can say that's harsh, but hey, look, black people's lives are on the line every day because of bad economic policy and economic deprivation. It's serious out here on these streets. We are moving toward anarchy in this country, and it ain't going to be us that's going to be raising hell. Why do you think they keep putting these movies out? The Purge this, The Purge election night, The Purge Big Mama edition. I mean, it's just every time I turn around, there's a new purge. I'm like, I ain't trying to sit up here and watch this. I mean, the first one I loved. Now, some of these other ones, and the last one was okay. It was okay. The Purge they made 3 or 4 years ago was better. Anyway, Hollywood is always ahead of the curve. Always. We're headed to that kind of society because they can't take care of all of us. And let me just say this before we go back to Kamala Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say something to you. The shutdown wasn't just about that wall. That was part of it. A lot of it is Donald Trump flexing his muscles, showing these welfare queens that don't think you're going to be living high on the hog like you have the last few years, getting $1,000 for food stamps, getting a Section 8 voucher, and you living in neighborhoods like where I am. or where some of you live at. You over there buying a $350,000 house, and next door you got some single mom on Section 8. Fuck out of here. You don't work your ass off to buy a house, and you got some low life mammy living next to you, living off of welfare. Got niggas coming in and out all times of the day. People running in and out the door, arguing all the time. You moved out of the hood to get away from that shit. Now you got some asshole landlord that will rent to these people. Anyway, cost of living is going up. The chance of living is going down. And it's happening right before your very eyes. Like I said, the average family of 4 can't even go on a weekend getaway. They can't even afford to stay in a hotel. They don't have the money. And it ain't just because of inflation. When you you have somebody else do your manufacturing for you, you're going to build their economy. Look at China. You got all these people over here talking about, hey, why you always talking about bringing manufacturing back? Because that creates jobs. You dumbass. When AI totally takes over the computing, industrial level in computing, like when I'm talking about Rackspace, IBM, HP, Dell, everybody that's in cloud management, all their systems are going to be set up on the AI system, which means what? Which means it's going to be totally automated. When I was doing my MBA program with my IT management, computer science emphasis, they were just at the time talking about IT management, and they still had a bunch of people doing virtually nothing. Had a whole bunch of everybody's business model within everybody's corporation. It was, okay, you got a CIO, then you got the IT director, then you got the IT manager, and then you got the IT supervisors. Okay. And then you have all the technicians that manage the network and all the servers. Okay. That's how it was back in the day. Well, then it went down to, okay, you only need one supervisor and half the IT techs. That was 13, 14 years ago. Then 5 years ago, they went to this when they say the cloud, basically what they're doing is they're going back to the mainframe. They're actually not telling you this, ladies and gentlemen, but they've actually gone backwards in computing, because no matter what you do, you have to have a bank of supercomputers or servers, or you got to have a supercomputer, which the DOD still does that type of computing. It's just, done differently and more effectively. What people did is they got rid of all the excess employees that they didn't need, got better equipment. Servers are, they keep improving on servers. So one server can have millions of terabyte, hundreds of thousands of terabyte bandwidth on it. So now what they're doing is going back to supercomputing, where they might have, instead of having one big supercomputer, they got 10,000. Y'all see where you see the business model that we're talking about here? So you need less people. You go to AI, you only gonna need the CIO, maybe the IT director, maybe no director. Because why you gonna pay somebody $250,000 or $300,000 a year to do nothing? They don't do anything. The manager does all the work, and the supervisors, they're hands-on. So you don't need an IT director. You just need an IT manager. Pay him or her $150,000 a year. But then they might only have one IT supervisor and maybe two technicians for the whole server farm. But they call it cloud to try to make you think it's up in the damn air. And them not going, they trying to fool people into thinking that they're still moving forward when they've actually taken a step backward in large storage computing. I do business with a company that has some of my stuff on servers. But I have, if I want a designated server, I have to pay more money, and I ain't giving them people more money. But their servers are very stable, so I have no problem with them. But the jobs are changing, and if AI becomes the law of the land as far as supercomputing is concerned, then you're going to have less contact with these companies. And there's going to be less people that work in that industry. What does that do? Well, if the computer industry is changing, you can best believe everybody else is changing. They're going to go to tellerless banking. Matter of fact, USAA does that in some locations in San Antonio, or excuse me, Stank Antonio. They already do that. It's like it's not like an ATM. It's a lot more technical than that, but it's the same concept. Or the bank just consists of a drive-through, and that's it. There's no you can't go inside. There's no lobby. They're trying to come up with ways to have unmanned public deliveries of products and or services. Why? Because it's cheaper. And you have to be paying attention to what they're doing. A lot of y'all, you don't pay it. Black people don't like to pay attention to what's really going on because you have that attitude that, white daddy and white mommy gonna tell me what I need. And that's why we fucked up in the game today, is because we still want to be led by the nose, by the slave master. And then we're gonna sit on the porch and complain about how he treats us. Okay? Don't complain about your nutrition when you're eating out of somebody else's hand. Let me take a quick break real quick. Keep it locked right here on the Iceman Show podcast. Tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Make sure you guys hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the Cash Is App. You know how we do it. Shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I had to put some stuff in there. Yeah. So basically, you got a little bit of a private perspective on Kamala Harris. And again, I want to reiterate what I was saying before I took a break, that they're up to no good. And they're presenting a candidate, possible candidate to us who isn't the person we want to represent us in a race against Donald Trump. Black people win no matter who becomes president. And I will explain how that is. I'll explain to you how that works for us. See, those of us black men who want our own economy, who wants the same type of economy that the Asians have and the Caucasians have, we want that for us. And we're trying to build that. And a lot of you guys are not supporting us. So we don't like Donald Trump, but we like the fact that he's forcing black folks to work with each other, because black women know that they've spent the last 50 years, they chose welfare and Section 8 and WIC over building a family with us. So now the wreckage is 75% or possibly even more homes are headed by females instead of men. And that's an embarrassment and should be an embarrassment to black people. But instead, thinking that would make a lot of black folks change, especially try to set the next generation up better than they were set up. Instead of doing that, we continue to turn up and act like idiots and be more concerned about church and partying at church. Some people don't like nightclubs, so they party in church. They're at every function that the church provides. You don't have to get your swerve on at a bar or a club. That's their club. Listen to the music at some of these big churches. It ain't much different than what you hearing on the radio. They up in church rapping. They up in church doing spirit dancing. They all doing all kind of stuff in these churches because they know people ain't gonna sit there and sit still for 3 hours, and they not being entertained at some point. If you don't have a charismatic preacher or preachers on his or her staff, people ain't gonna want to come in there. Which is, hey, churches, just like any other business, they gotta cater to their core customer, which today is single moms. So they're gonna get up in church and say derogatory stuff about men in general. They might not say, because some of these preachers be white, so it wouldn't look right if they got up there and said, you sisters, black men ain't shit, and they probably lose a lot of members. They start talking crazy like that. So what they do is they generalize men. How do I know? Because I've been to these churches, and these preachers will be all reckless about the mouth, saying some stupid shit. Talking about, yeah, you ladies in here by yourselves because your man ain't man enough to be here with you. Just talking shit. I'm like, I didn't put nothing in the collection plate anyway. But since you now talking that shit, I think I'm gonna leave, and I don't care if your sermon ain't finished. I've heard all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. See, the con job ain't working on black folks this go round, and they can sense that there's a different energy in the air. There's a different energy in the air. It ain't the same kumbaya, coon energy that we're all used to. Oh, no. No. Brothers and sisters are acting like riders instead of ass kissers. Okay? That civil rights bullshit, they don't want to hear none of that. They're like, you better be talking about some tangibles. You better be talking about reparations and different types of reparations, not just cash. Because if they give niggas money, the greasy food, the greasy rib shack that is down around the corner that's owned by some black folks you went to school with their kids, all of a sudden they become a $1 billion company overnight. Okay? Annie Mae's fish and chicken emporium. All of a sudden we got enough money to have 3,100 locations around the country. You digs? Y'all don't hear me. Let me tell y'all something, man. Trump helps us. So if you one of these black men and black women that's about that life, you talking about B1, black first. We love what Trump is doing because you have to, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. And ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you're on Facebook Live. Hit the like button, man. Come on, man. How much is that going to cost you? Everybody hit the like button on the YouTube side. Let me continue to quarterback this thing. You digs? Anyway, it's going to take more than her saying she listened to Cardi B and she likes Tribe Called Quest. That ain't gonna work this time. Talking about tennis shoes and music, and that ain't gonna work. Black folks today are like, where's our check? Where's our check? America, you got rich off of us. Y'all got you put them drugs in our neighborhoods. You make our women feel like the only way they can make it out here is to sell pussy. Look what you done to our people. And we built this motherfucker. We overwhelmingly serve in the military. We fought in every war. Sometimes we're the first to be killed. I served in a war. I got uncles that are Vietnam vets. I had one of my uncles, he passed away about 12 years ago. He was a World War II vet. That's why it's an insult for somebody to say that black men and women aren't patriots. Well, you got all them black women and black men in the military serving right now all over the world. I'm proud of them brothers and sisters. Imani Morgan, how you doing? Well, I don't know if you're a young lady, but I will say this. I think some black folks feel limited, Miss Morgan. I think some black folks feel, oh, it's Kitty Candy. Oh, girl, why'd you was you talking crazy? All right now. Hey, the hounds are out. So hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like I'm playing hockey. The brown sausage, he's my goalie. Shit, ain't nothing getting past that nigga. Okay, he like pow, pow, pow. Hey, y'all unblock Kitty Candy, man. Unless you was talking, you weren't talking crazy, was you? You weren't talking that black man ain't shit, was you? Nah, it should they usually the blocks only last for like 10 minutes or something like that. Or 3 minutes or something like that. Don't worry about it. You won't be you're not permanently blocked. Anyway, the reason why they say that is because they might have limited the way they see. You got to understand how you can't look, people. Let me tell you something. There's one thing you have to learn. I had to learn if I was going to be in mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't always see the world through your eyes. You have to see the world through how other people may see the world. Okay? So they may say, hey, damn, only way I can get out of here is with a jump shot. The only way I can get out of here is because I run a 10 flat 100 meters. That's the only thing that's going to get me out of here. School is starting not to be an option because most majors are a waste of time. If you're not STEM, if you're not accounting, if you're not, now you can go criminal justice if you know for a fact you want a job with the FBI or DEA, but I wouldn't suggest getting it if you're trying to do something else besides being law enforcement or go straight to law school. See, I was going to go to law school, but man, I had a family. I had 2 kids at that point. I was like, man, I can't take a chance and go to law school, even though I would have had a guaranteed job at my uncle's law firm, because he was like, go nephew. He was like, man, if you come down here to Detroit, he was like, man, shit, you could work for me. But see, it just didn't work out, man. No, school is worthwhile if you're willing to go into the trades. And I keep telling brothers this. And I tell sisters too. A lot of sisters be like, Ice, I don't want to go to like a traditional college, but I want to get some kind of training. Where can I go? And I'm like, try to get into heavy equipment operating. You know what career fair you start to see a lot of black women in? A lot of black women are becoming over-the-road truck drivers because they go through them training programs and they like, hey, I could drive that big ass truck. Oh, some sisters be handling them trucks, and some of them be tiny. Okay, so I tell black, hey, you want a job? That heavy equipment operator, HVAC, really HVAC ain't nothing, but most of the job is electrical. HVAC, plumbing, carpentry. I'm trying to get brothers to go into carpentry because you can automatically start building houses because that's what you're going to do in class or at the union. Yeah, electrical too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not include electrical too. And I encourage guys to learn the commercial side of it. They're gonna teach you residential, but you need to learn commercial so you get on these big construction jobs. Like when they build these stadiums, you can there's guys, that's all they do is go around the country building stadiums. And the electrical guy, the journeyman and the master plumber I mean, the master electrician, they're going to be the ones working with the electrical engineers, setting up the grids and all that kind of shit. Man, there's big money in that shit. But you ain't going to never be at home. You're going to be living out of a suitcase, but you'll be making $120K a year doing that. Making real cash. That's why I be telling, look, nursing is good too. If you can become a LVN or LPN, that's fine. You're gonna make 50. But you gonna top out about 60. And it's gonna take you a minute to get there. Petroleum engineering is no joke. That still pays a lot of money, but if you want to make the real money, you're gonna have to go with a company that that actually is putting teeth in the ground, getting to that oil. Where the money is for petroleum engineers is overseas, working for the Saudis, because you away from home, they'll pay you $200,000 a year. You're gonna be bored to death. You're gonna have to whip you'll have to whip them play toys out. So internal medicine. How come not neurology? So you want to be like working for the UN or the WHO? Hey, don't be over there manufacturing Ebola for us. Yeah, we got this special Ebola. We gonna get it, niggas. Yeah, they just fuck niggas out. Niggas, they don't have no antidote. It'd be Black Mirror. Okay. He said, I changed my mind about nice feet. No, but look, let me show y'all something. Let me teach y'all a lesson real quick. Because a lot of cats was like, Ice, you need to show people, you got a whiteboard. And I'm like, okay, I got one now. Actually, I've been had it. But I had to get an easel because I don't like putting that thing on the wall. Although I'd rather have it on the wall. Let me show y'all something. Let me teach y'all a quick lesson on economics. It's macroeconomics. Y'all gonna have to excuse the cred. I gave the cleaning lady the year off. Yeah, dicks. All right. So I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but we'll make it work. But I gotta have my my whiteboard area here. Okay. I might have to tilt this. Let's see if I can tilt the this camera up so you can see what I'm. Now YouTube, I think it's backwards. Okay. Facebook, for some reason, they always have it the right way. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So here's what you got. Here's what we got. Okay. At the bottom is economics. Okay. That's our economy. In the middle, we got politics. And up here, we got we got society and our social interaction. That's what that means. Social. Okay. Let me put this somewhere. Anyway, in every country, you got to have an economy or none of this other stuff works. Okay? The economics is always at the bottom. Why? Because that drives everything. So black people, voting ain't gonna fix this. Okay? Our disposable income for every year, the last couple of years have been $1.3 trillion. And then we spend another $2 trillion in credit, which is money we don't have. That's debt. Okay? Your financial imprint is driving the engine of this country. If you take that $1.3 trillion out the economy, it collapses. So we have a lot of power, but that's where our power lies. If you don't want to pick up a goddamn gun and stand a post and be a man, there's other ways you can stand that post and be a man. And that's with your wallet. They talk to us like we're children. They treat us like children. They talk to us like we're nothing. We're dumb and stupid. And they treat us like what? Slaves. Slave to the rhythm. I ain't talking about no slave to the rhythm. You are a slave. They treat us all like children. And then now they're mad because we are putting good information out here on the internet streets, and people are scooping it up, picking it up, rubbing it all over their faces, processing this information, and they're making informed decisions. I don't like that woman because of A, B, C, and D. There's reasons why I do not support that woman, and this is why. So they stop talking to us like we're children. You can't have a damn thing without an economy. So when black folks say, well, we don't need to support black-owned businesses, you know why black people say that? Because all the rest of the businesses in the hood, in the suburb, in the hinterlands, in the suburbs, everywhere else around this country, white businesses are the ones that we see. Kroger, Home Depot, Lowe's. We don't own that shit. And that's why we say asinine, dumb shit like that. Because in our minds, we're surviving and we're thriving because of white zaddy and white mommy. That's how we think. And that's why we're in last place economically. Because we don't think this matters. Because we've been trained to spend 97% of everything we make outside our neighborhoods. So there's no resources in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood becomes the hood. And what black men were there in the hood, they get the hell out of there, the ones with brains. If they can get out of there going to the military, going to college, they leave and they never come back. So now the women and the children are even more exposed. That's why that stuff that matriarchal shit does not work in their neighborhoods. They live in communities. We live in neighborhoods. A community is something you own, that the inhabitants own. The transfer of resources goes fully top to bottom in that community. That's why they're called communities, because everybody is thriving because of their income. that's spent right there. Whereas our dumbasses get in the car and drive out to the mall out in the white neighborhood to help them live like kings and queens. That money never comes back to us. And you can believe all the lies with it, the so-called, where we have, you go to any of these big corporations websites, they're all talking about our social responsibility, and they'll show some 2 or 3 black kids that don't have a hair comb, and some other little white kids, some other, maybe they throw an Asian kid in there, and they hold them and we donate money to these organizations that help needy children. And then you look on it, and then you find out how much they look at their IRS filings, look at their paperwork, and they only donated 20,000, yet they made 20 billion. Don't believe that bullshit you see on TV. But you can't do shit without this, because this is a building. This is the foundation to the building. See, this is how black folks get it twisted. Let me teach this lesson, then we'll go back to Kamala Harris. Okay, at the bottom, you have your economics. This is how you build your community, so the jobs stay there. If this is an Italian neighborhood, you're not going to move a soul food restaurant in the middle of Little Italy. Now, unless you want some racial shit to pop off. But the deli is there for them. The pizza place is their place. Everybody knows everybody because they spend their dollars with their own people. But you've been poisoned. Mentally, you have been poisoned to think that there's something wrong with spending 100% of your dollars with your brother and your sister. So you've been trained that you're not doing anything unless you buy those Air Jordans out there at the White Mall. And as long as we think that, we'll be in economic last place. So you have to have this, or you don't have no second floor. Second floor, no third floor. I've never seen a building built with no foundation and no steel girders to hold that building in place so it doesn't fall over. That's anchored, 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 feet in the ground just to keep that thing stable. See, I worked in civil engineering, so I know this stuff. I just didn't want to do it as a career. But you can't have anything without this. So please learn this. In order to be able to move up to the high and control these floors up here, you have to build an economy. You have to have that where your people spend 100% of their money with each other. That means black women are going to have to get off the bullshit. You're gonna have to meet that black man halfway like you did 50 years ago, before feminism. You're gonna have to be sweet. You're gonna have to be feminine, and we need your support. We need your love and support. And you're gonna have to stop using your vagina as a hotel, an hourly motel. And you're going to have to stop using your vagina as a small business. You're going to have to stop being polyamorous and practice hypergamy. And you're going to have to close your legs. My penis has to be enough. Otherwise, you're going to end up back over there at your mama's. You're going to have to come home, black woman. You got to get off the bullshit. That social process has to be part of the economic plan going forward with getting tangibles from the federal government, and then we turning those resources into businesses that are going to feed our children's families and our grandchildren's families. And then we pass that wealth and we protect that wealth with guns if we have to. See, Tulsa happened, and I did extensive research on Tulsa, Black Wall Street. Tulsa happened because these black men and women, let me sit down. Those black men and women, they built an economy. But the one last step that they didn't engage in was protecting it with guns. Those racists, those white supremacists, you have to understand, those white supremacists, they felt they could come in there and kill those folks. If they didn't think they could do it, they wouldn't have done it. But they knew that those brothers weren't going to fight them like that. So they got the upper hand on them. They fought back, and they only killed a few of them, but they wiped out Black Wall Street. See, that's what happens when you leave black folks alone and let us to our own devices. We go back to how we operated in Africa, working as a village. That's how you build empires. Black people have lost the will to want to build an empire. And you can do it within 5 years. You can do it within 5 years, 3 to 5 years. You can take about 20 to 30 black people and damn near become millionaires. Now, I'm not going to say overnight, but once you learn the game, you can take those resources and start building wealth with it. Okay? Now, so we got to build an economy for ourselves where where the dollar in our communities circulates at least 6 times. It turns over 6 times before it leaves the community within, I think realistically, to get this started, probably maybe 3 or 4 days to a week. But you want to get it to 30 days, a whole month. That's where the Asians are. The Asians were behind the Jewish folks. I think Jewish people is like the dollar in the Jewish community turns over at least 3 to 4 times in a 2-week period or something like that. And then the Asians surpassed them in the last 10 to 15 years, where their dollar circulates at least 6 times before and for about at least 4 weeks before it leaves the Asian community. So as you see, everybody's doing it the right way. We're the only ones doing it the dumb way. And as you see, that's why a lot of brothers like us who graduated from college, who got certain special skills, especially on the management level, we get married and we move away. We move out to the suburbs. We don't want to stay in the hood no more because we don't want Ray and Pookie and them breaking in our house every time we cut the corner. We don't want, Ray and Pookie and them stealing our flat screen TVs, breaking in our car, stealing our stereos and CDs, and didn't go to work like we did. So that's why we move away, y'all. But once we get those resources and the right people are in charge of allocating those resources and turning them resources into benefits for the community, first we got to have a plan. And then we got to say, okay, well, once we get these resources, what are we going to do with it? Because these women and children are waiting for us to put all of them in a position where sisters don't have to worry about working if they don't want to. If they still want to work, cool. but you're gonna be forced to have to deal with brothers on the most human level. And you're going to have to act like a lady is supposed to act. And you can't be popping off. You can't be acting like an idiot. But you got to love and respect that man. But in exchange for that, she shouldn't have to worry about the bills getting paid. But that's what happens when you build this for your people. When I go to some of these locations, I'm getting back to this. I'm gonna get back to this. Let me say this real quick. When there's a lot of Chinese people where I live at, not exactly where I live at, but more closer to where I work out at. And some of these people can't speak English. Some of them can barely speak English, but they getting in brand new Benzes, Land Rovers, because they work as a team. When somebody comes over, they say, okay, you're going to work for Chang Ling, you're going to work for him. You're going to work in his restaurant. Yeah, he'll pay you, but he, instead of paying you full minimum wage, in their community, they might say, I'm going to pay you half of that. That's how they do things. But that person's making money as soon as they get here. See, you move, if an African person comes from Ghana over here, we ain't got shit set up to hook them up. So what they got to do? They got to go to the federal government talking about, look, I'm from this African country. What kind of resources y'all got? They got to go to Zaddy and them because we ain't got no economy set up other than, blowing our money on dumb shit. I remember I was in line at this grocery store yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was Tuesday. And this Asian chick was just well-dressed. And she had a Prada purse. And I looked at that purse. I said, damn, that purse look expensive. And I said to myself, I bet you that purse cost $3,500. But she can afford that. Because her family is probably getting rich off you black women buying them bundles and them fake eye color contacts and all the other garbage that you buy out of their beauty supplies and us going to their restaurants where they never, ever, ever in even a 24-hour period throw out the trash. Now they have communities where they build an economy. Then the next level is politics. How do you control your politicians? Politicians are prostitutes. They work for money. So if you don't give them no money, don't expect no benefits coming back to you. Don't expect no favors. So in order, see, you have to understand something. The politicians come from where? Your community. So they know better. They know better when they get to the state level or they get to the federal level as a representative or a senator. Their job is to represent our interests because they're from our community. We put money, we gave them money for the campaign. All the people from the community raised millions of dollars. So that politician is what? Beholden to us. Whether they're on the school board, whether they're on the city council, county supervisor seat, state assembly, or they're a representative in Congress. We own their asses. See, we don't own our politicians because we don't buy them. So they're going to go up there and be self-serving only. But yet you still keep voting for them because they're black. So if you own the politicians, you own the politics. If you own the politics, you own the educational systems from K through 12 to post-secondary. You putting people on the regent board of the university in your near you or the university you went to, and you control that person because you you put big money in their coffers. This is how real shit works, black people. Ain't nothing free. You own the courts. You own the judges. You own the district attorney, i.e. Kamala Harris. You own the police chief. You own the sheriff. Because he's from where? Your community. And your money. They are beholden to you. If you don't like that there's potholes in the streets, you got enough political clout to call the transportation commissioner and say, hey, what the fuck, man? That's power. Not that shit you see on Stars. So you own the politics. You own these people. If you own this level, and on this level, we're talking about the federal level. We're talking about the national level. If you own this, you own this. Or you have a big stake in this. You're a stakeholder. You own society. What social norms are acceptable, unacceptable. If you say you want people to be able to walk around with their dicks out, if you got that kind of clout, it might take some time, but you're going to change policy at this level. If you own this and you running this, you own this, then you own this. This is when you're influencing presidential elections. Those people, those donors who go to those $1,500 a plate dinners. There's a lot of pussy up in there too. A lot of rich pussy. All these people do is give away millions of dollars every year. It's fly shit to them. So your people are protected because you own these people. They know better not to mess with your race group or your ethnic group because you own motherfuckers at this level. This is why you ain't got no power, because of this. Because I've seen white boys be nigger this, nigger that, nigger this, nigger that. And as soon as you get some paper on their level, they like, bro. All of a sudden, they don't mind you fucking white girls that's dimes. They ain't got a problem with that. You ain't a nigga now. Because you got lubed. Welcome to the club. Now, there's still going to be some white supremacists that ain't going to accept you no way. But most of them are willing to let shit slide if you don't act like, you don't act like my man Mayweather, talking on the money phone. As long as you ain't doing nigga shit like that, they might be able to stand your ass, tolerate your ass at this level. This is why we are taking L's, because we can't even get this right. This is the fucking bottom. Your DNA states that the first thing you are to do is protect people that got this goddamn skin tone like you and that nappy hair. That's what your DNA says. That's biochemical. Your first, what do they say? Your first allegiance is to yourself, because I have to survive. Or and I know in years to come, my life will be over, but my children will carry on. If you don't fix this, you can't leave anything to them. Do you understand that? And that's where we at. Well, all you guys in the room who got bachelor's degrees in this and master's degrees, How much wealth are we building? Because we can't afford to continue to leave Ray Ray and Pookie and Darnisha and them behind. They're going to cost us too much. You're going to have to civilize the savages before you can fix this, all of this. And I'm telling you right now, the civil rights community is not going to help us with this because they benefit with millions of dollars doing behind the scenes cooning and side dealing. These are the folks who want white supremacy to continue because they have learned to thrive underneath it. Those are the black folks we gotta get rid of. We gotta set up this so that we can start punishing people. See, when you got cash, when you got wealth, you can call some of these folks and affect the lives of your enemies. Do y'all hear me? You can destroy your enemies when you have a strong sub-economy. You can put pressure. You don't have to go marching and be out in the cold or in the heat protesting and marching. Why? Because your phone will do all that work. Let me call the police chief over there. Check to see if this motherfucker, one of my enemies, check to see if that son of a bitch's son goes to that university and does he have some warrants? Because I heard he had a drug problem. Next thing you know, that dude's son getting arrested and embarrassing him. That's the kind of games people play on their level while we down here playing one little silly ass game. Ooh, girl, I'm getting food stamps. And you playing games like that. Nigga games. Games with no real prize. You digs? While they playing those kind of games. Games that mean something. Adult games. So if you don't have the economy, if you don't fix this, black man, we're in trouble because you can punish, you can reward, and you can punish. What is one of the 48 laws of power? When you get power, you keep it. When you get power, you use it to do what? Destroy your competition. Who is whom? Your enemies. And you reward your friends, everybody that supported you and put in work. Those are the people that you create your army with because they will be loyal to you. That's how you build dynasties. You leverage this. You leverage this to buy all this and then this. Where internationally people know not to fuck with you because you got deep pockets. Half the niggas in this room, yeah, you make $80,000 a year, but you just one call of a lawyer away from foreclosure after being thrown out your house. Why? Because if you get a DUI and you got to get a lawyer, not that, you make too much money for a public pretender, so you're going to have to get your own lawyer. That's going to cost you $10,000, $15,000. You ain't got that kind of money. You over leveraged. You damn near insolvent. See, that's what black people love to do. We'll go to college and make all that money and then go out there and get all them credit cards. Or go out there and get a house you can't pay for, or you could barely pay for because it's what your wife wanted. You wanted to get a house that costs $100,000 cheaper. But she had to have that one. That's not how you build this, brothers. You can't have that. You just gonna have a house full of Air Jordans and a nice car in the garage, but you ain't gonna own no wealth. If the shit you own is more, its aggregate value or cost or amount is higher than what you got in the bank and your net worth, there's a problem. You understand me? You can't, that's why everybody sells shit to us. Oh, the blacker man. Because they know we're dumb. We care more about being accepted. We care more about being popular. So we'll go and mortgage our children's future and wealth that we can pass to our children. We leverage that against rims, against some 24s, with some razor tires. We'll spend 25 grand on that shit. And your daughter and you ain't got no money in a 521 college plan to send your daughter to college, or at least have some, here's 10 grand when they graduate from high school. Here's 10 grand. You don't have to work. You can just take this money and pay your rent with it, or pay your dorm money with it, or I'll pay your dorm money. I'll pay for, if you don't have we don't have a scholarship, I'll just pay for everything. But that's still, that $10 is your movie money. That's your, going, getting some drink money. Don't just go and just blow that money. That's what we got to be doing. Or, okay, I work at my mom and dad own 3 auto mechanic shops, and I got to work in the office. You can provide, that's a resource that you're providing to your daughter. She ain't gonna want to be there all day, but she's learning how to have a job, and she should be learning how to run that business. That's wealth. That's what we can be doing. But if we can't get the family shit back together, the nuclear family with the man, the woman, and the child, or 2.5 children, if we can't get back to that model, we ain't gonna never fix this, because single moms are selfish. That's why they're single moms. And they're teaching their kids how to be selfish crumb snatchers. Okay? That's what they teach their children, how to be selfish. So when you date these men or women who come out of these types of homes, they're selfish as fuck. They're self-centered and they're selfish. Do you really think you can build an economy with people like that? These people are going to be the hood dwellers that you and I want to stay away from. The hood is full of them. So we can't build this, because if we keep having those kinds of black men and women coming out of homes like that, we have to get back to what it was 50 years ago. Because that's how everybody else is building their communities. They are building their communities by first having families with a man, a woman, and the child or children. This single mom shit has to stop. This epidemic of you thinking it's pimping to be on welfare and pumping out kids by different niggas. That ain't going to be fashionable in the next 3 to 5 years. Not if Trump gets another 4 years in there, which he will. Hope y'all got this, man. I hope you got it. Those of you, if you haven't donated today, make sure you go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and go from there. Or you can hit the Cash App. I see a couple of people hit the Cash App since I've been on the air. Appreciate it. That's a real easy way to send money, and you don't, and it's not, and they don't attach fees to it. You digs? So I expect everybody that's online today to donate $3.99. That's all you got to donate today. You digs? Let's see here. I want to knock these guitars and shit over. Because I got this stuff on this side of the room. Because it was just easier for me to have everything out when I need to play it. You digs? So okay. All right. Where's my charger at? So as you can see, that is a rundown of what we need to be concentrating on for Black Tangibles 2020. Okay, we already say we don't like Kamala Harris, so we're not supporting her. And I want you to join me in making sure she doesn't go too much farther in this candidacy process. We want to make sure she doesn't go any further, because she doesn't deserve to be even running for president. She's not the kind of person. She supports the private prison industry. They gave her a lot of money. The private prison industry gave her millions. See, you see where this is going to lie? You see where on what direction we're going? You see where we're going with this? Y'all see where I'm going with this? I hope you do. I hope you keep up. She supported private prisons. She supported mass incarceration. She also supported what else did they say she supported? She supported what do you call that? She supported long sentences, long drug sentences for drug offenses. Does she start sound anti-black, ain't she? This is the person that they trying to stick in front of us, people. And we gotta be better than that. We have to be better than that. You have your economic base at the bottom and you go up. You don't go horizontally, which is what we do. LGBT issues, we running over there. I'm LGBT. I'm not black, but I'm just LGBT. Then poop, 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 poop. Next thing you talking about, next thing you like, shit, I'm black and LGBT. I guess I'm black first all the time. Yes, you're black first, and you'll never be anything else. Stop trying to be something else. Or you got the coons and the Negro Benwiches and the Sambos and the Mammies running over here trying to be up under white daddy's ball sack so they can get some crumbs. So they run over there and try to act white. Hey, Carter. So you go over there and start doing that shit. And then that doesn't net you any results. That's horizontal. You see what you're doing here? You're going nowhere. You ain't going up. That's why I said we're moving on up to the east side. We ain't moving down. We ain't moving across. We moving on up. supposed to be trying to go this way. Instead, you trying to do this shit. That's what children do. Children refuse to see reality. They refuse to act responsibly. You got the information right in front of you. I ain't the first person that gave you this information, but you've heard it before, but you just don't want to do anything because, like a lot of black folks, you have gotten used to being able to live under the system of white supremacy, and it just got easy for you, even though you still get insulted on, a daily basis by non-black people at your job every day. Even if you're white collar, you still deal with the same shit. Even if you were blue collar. And so you hear this type of shit, but you still are not, you know that you don't have to team up economically with other black men and women because white daddy's cutting you a check every week or every month or every other week. So you've gotten used to it. And then along comes Trump and changes the goddamn game. And he's not even hiding it. It's fascism in effect right now. We also live in a plutocracy. See, the Plutarchs are people like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, those people. As you can see, your boy, block this Russian motherfucker right here. This Kitty Katian or whatever. Block that motherfucker. Bill Gates and them ain't on that level. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Bill Gates is not a Plutarch or plutocrat. And neither is Warren Buffett. There's people 3 and 4 times as rich as they are. Don't get it twisted. Maybe you have, because a lot of you believe everything Nancy Pelosi tells you. You think Nancy Pelosi is your mama because she is a caucasoid. Any one of these cave people tell you something, you believe it. That's sad. Real sad, man. That's why I tell black folks, Trump is forcing black people to wake up. We either gonna die as individuals or we're gonna win as a team. And a lot of you guys ain't gonna make it. A lot of your lineage, people from your lineage, from your loins, ain't gonna make it. It ain't gonna be about survival of the fittest. It's gonna be the survival of the most resources. If you have no resources and you can't keep a job in this shitty ass economy, see, the economy is only good for business right now. This economy is on. Listen to me, people. This economy is only good for the corporations right now. It's not good for the personal citizens. They're doing record number business right now. I watch CNBC almost every morning, and I see the margin calls. While you're starving, if you got a daddy that can't keep a job because he works for this company for 2 years, then they lay him off. Then he works over here for a year. That's how some of y'all gonna be working the rest of your lives until you wake up. Until you wake up and realize that getting a job for a black man, and let alone a black woman, is a total waste of your time long term. You're going to end up with no job. And that's whether you work in the public sector or private sector. They're going to start killing a lot of these federal jobs. There's no money. The federal government is bringing in less money because of taxes, because they lowered the tax rate for rich corporations and rich people. So there's less revenue. Where are they going to get the money from? You guessed it. Poor people programs, social programs, welfare, SNAP. They're going to have to take billions from that. They're going to go back to sending out the government cheese box with the nasty ass flaky milk, powdered milk, and the honey that's so thick you can use that. You can use that shit as grout for your bathroom tiles. The cheese is so hard it don't melt. You can't make no grilled cheese sandwich with no government cheese. I ain't talking about the government cheese. I mean the government. Like G-O-B-M-E-N-T. Government. I tried to eat that cheese. That shit will break your teeth. You better not have no crowns and all that kind of shit in your mouth to tear your teeth up. They going back to them shits. And that's incentive for all you lazy. I ain't talking to all the single moms. I ain't talking to the sisters that's married. I ain't talking to you. Don't get offended. I'm finna talk to these Darnishas. If you are a female and you are able-bodied and you on welfare, you ain't on welfare because you know it's temporary and you eventually gonna get off of it. No. You are a career welfare recipient, and they're going to get rid of you. The first indication was this shutdown. They're going to stop giving these broads $700 and $800 and $1,000 a month for SNAP. What does SNAP mean? Supplemental Nutrition Program. What is a supplement? A supplement is in addition to your main whatever it is. So if you're buying the bulk of your food and you're coming up short based on the federal and state guidelines, then they say, okay, you get X amount of dollars in SNAP benefits, EBT, and it goes to your EBT card. They took away the embarrassment of using them food coupons or food stamps like they had when I was a kid. That shit was embarrassing. I mean, my parents was never on welfare, but I saw black women who might have been in line buying food, and everybody's staring at them, looking like that old ghetto bitch. And those black women did look dusty. Everybody looked dusty in the 70s, though. My parents wasn't gonna get on no goddamn welfare because it was embarrassing. Just like it was in Claudine, that movie Claudine. That's how it used to be. You had to hide your clothes. You couldn't have no clothes. The social worker would come in the house and they were always white. They'll come to your house and be like, oh, you living pretty good. You don't need no welfare. Even back in the 70s, they was talking that shit. Now they don't even do a walkthrough. And then here they go coming after you, black man, because you know what they're going to say? They'll be like, well, where's the daddy to them kids? Oh, we're going to put his ad. What'd you say? Cleophas Green? Oh, okay. You got his social number? Okay. Next thing you know, they garnishing your goddamn check. Nigga, your check go from take home, your net go from $550 to 56 cents. And they'll take it all. They don't give a fuck what you got to do. Thank Bill Clinton for that shit. Thank the Clintons. That's some Gestapo shit. That's Nazi shit. Taking all your money like that. It's a lot of guys that end up sleeping in their car because of that. Because of that kind of shit. But these black women have been having a party at our expense. We've been paying, you've been paying 3 times. You've been paying the welfare system. You're going to pay the welfare system back for taking care of her. You're paying taxes. They're taking your taxes to give to your no good baby mama. And then thirdly, you paying for her abuse of you. You paying her a third time to have, to have your nutsack in a sling or in a vice for her to turn and tighten up anytime she feel like it. So you're paying 3 times. And if you get to talking shit and she got a record and she got a recording of it, you might, the deputy sheriff gonna come over there and lay them hands on you. They start laughing, man. Okay? You lay them hands on you. Okay? My man he gonna have to go MMA on you. And you're gonna be like, you go might fuck around and do an Eric Garner on your ass. I can't breathe. Fuck around, get you like that. Hey, all right, man. But you paying 3 times for your woman to be disrespectful to you. That's why we got to get that economic game back together. And it's going to take every last one of us. So the first thing you can start doing is stacking your money. That's the first thing you can do. I don't care how much you make. I don't make that much money. You don't have to make $100 million. You just not got to know how to budget what you got. A lot of you niggas don't know how to budget what you got. Money just going all over the place. It's like sticking your money in your pocket without a wallet, and everywhere you walk, you got dollars blowing out your back pocket. That's how most of y'all live. You have no idea how to save money, how to manage your money. And you really don't want to know. You love selective ignorance. I didn't know how fucked up my money was. Well, sir, did you ever sit down with a financial advisor and, work that out? No. You an adult, you a goddamn adult, dog. You a grown ass man. You a grown ass man, dog. That's your fault. You can't blame that on the white man. That's the first thing you need to do is start stacking your chips. The second thing you need to do, well, you can do the second thing while you do the first thing. Find black-owned businesses to do business with. Because remember, that dollar has to circulate. They said only the dollar in the black community only circulates 30 minutes in the black community before it leaves the black neighborhoods. Did y'all know that? 30 minutes. It circulates 30 minutes. Not even a full day. That's how you throw away 97% of that $1.3 trillion every year you hand it over there to your enemies. China has been getting rich off black money. The Chinese Americans have been getting shitty rich off of black money. They make $4 billion a year off black women alone buying weaves. Did you know that? $4 billion. That's why that Chinese woman was standing in the line in front of me with a $4,000 Prada purse. Black woman, you bought that. That's your enemy. You trying to play these kumbaya games, you're going to be hateful toward the black man and be evil toward him, but then turn around and kiss their asses thinking you can build some kind of coalition. And everybody laughs at us. We don't want you on our team. We got our own team. Go over there and love you. Learn to love yourself, black man, black woman. Fuck you doing over here. We don't want you over here. And finally, the bitch slapping is not only on TV, but it's online. So every time one of these black women get the brakes beat off of them, everybody around the world sees the shit. You gonna give them your money and take an ass whooping. Don't sound too smart to me, black woman. You don't sound too smart. They're living high on the hog off of us. How come we ain't living off that money? How many of you Facebook people donated $3.99 today? Some of you guys listen to me every time I do a live stream, and you still ain't kicked in no money. I got family sitting here looking at this. They ain't never donated shit. It starts with simple stuff like that. You can't donate a $3? But you'll sit there and give $10,000 to your goddamn church, so your low-life pastor can go buy a $200,000 sports car for his wife off church money. You ain't got no problem giving the black church $11.9 billion a year in return for nothing. Black churches do nothing. Most of them don't do shit for the community other than take. We got to get off of that. That money we giving these churches while the rest of the community dies an economic death. But you're going to give a $5 million church money. The church is the prettiest thing on the goddamn block. The rest of the community look like shit. And that don't bother you? We have to redirect that money. That's private school for damn near every black child in this country. That's daycare for every last black child in this country. And you spending it on bullshit. Cars, clothes, hoes, and church. I go to my minister. He preaches prosperity gospel. Yeah, prosperity for him and his wife and his family. You giving it to him. If I was going to a church and my minister got up on Sunday and said, "Hey, look, I want a helicopter," I run up there to that pulpit, kick him so hard in his ass that he gonna float around that air like a helicopter when I get done with it. But some of y'all think that's okay. And you're getting nothing from this guy other than spirit dancers, some good music, and him talking shit and telling you it's okay to have a grudge. It's okay to keep your children away from their father because I said so. I'm the Reverend so-and-so. You listening to that con artistry every Sunday. He's selling you a product that you'll never get. You can never collect on it. But you giving him your money. Because you know the church can't run on Dunkin' Donuts. It run on money. I grew up in the church, and that's why I don't go to church, because it's a joke. Christianity is a joke. And it will always be a joke. It's people that run the church that act more like the people I'm out here on the street hustling with. Fuck out of here. But you can't pry black women out of church. because church is sexy and women get wet. And I'm not trying to be perverted here. We're talking about how somebody's psyche. The reason why women love church is because music affects women a little differently than it affects men. You can get that spiritual, dopamine rush by being at church. I've gotten it. Yeah, sometimes I've had a good time at church. Most of the time I didn't. But a man will be like, yeah, come on now, Reverend so-and-so. A man will be like, yeah, but a woman, it affects her physiology different than yours. Because a woman can hide her arousal better than a man can. If a man gets aroused, you're going to see it. And everybody's going to know. Whereas with a woman, you can't tell unless she just, she got some serious rainfall happening down there. And she might, I hope she got a panty liner on or something. I hope she got one of them sanitary pads down there. But the average woman, she going to be, oh yeah, the Lord is here. He in the house. Okay? You'll never know that that's going on. See, I'm talking about that kind of stuff in my second book, The Dating Bible. I start on it in this book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. I suggest you get this one. You digs? But the way the black woman conducts herself does determine how we get our house in order, brothers, because the only other thing that's going to fix it is separating and getting rid of all of the black women who are troublematic or problematic, getting rid of all of them and starting and putting them in a situation where they'll just end up ultimately killing each other. It'll be like Escape from New York with Snake Plissken. It'll be some shit like that. We're not that far from that, dog. We're not that. I'm telling you, here's the problem. Here's what's going to keep happening, people. See, you have to understand, people like Trump and these Plutarchs, the plutocrats, and these ruling class folks like Warren Buffett, I was about to say Rick Gates, Bill Gates. That's the ruling class. People like Trump are ruling class. Once you go over about 50 million in net worth, you're on that level. You're not quite on that level, but you're on your way. Because if you were 50 million, you probably got a nice little, 20 million G4 sitting out there at your disposal. You probably going to keep, making deals where you're going to make more than 50 million. You're going to still be making more money than that. But once you go over about 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, you're ruling class. All you got to do is make phone calls and make people disappear. Or make people fall in line. You understand me? I hope y'all hear me, man. Look, white folks are going to be hit hardest once this welfare thing starts winding down and they stop giving all this SNAP money to these women because they don't have the money, people. They don't have it. They're not going to tell you that. We're bringing in less money in the government. That's why you got companies like Apple that haven't paid taxes in 2 or 3 years. Guess how much money they got in Swiss banks? Over $369 billion. That money's not sitting in an American bank like Bank of America or Union Bank or Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo would love Apple's business for their profit accounts, to manage those kinds of accounts. Right now, they only have their operating capital in places, places like Chase Bank, or, they got their operating capital. That still might be billions. But once that money is funneled through their corporate system and the expenses get taken out, that profit gets sent over there to Swiss Bank in Zurich. So we don't get that money. We don't get the interest, that interest, which becomes possible tax-based money, that tax revenue and that other profits that are derived by those profits that are just sitting. That money doesn't circulate through the American economy. It goes out and helps Switzerland. It helps Switzerland, not us. And then on top of that, Apple won't pay any taxes because of tax policies that have been in effect since Clinton was in there. Remember, Obama campaigned on sticking it to the rich. And he said he was going to lower taxes on the middle class, anybody that made $250,000 a year or more, but then he moved it up to $500,000. And guess what he did? They raised taxes on the upper middle class and on the whole middle class through some shady. You didn't even know that you didn't even know it happened, did you? He got rid of that double that double earned income credit that Clinton put through there when he was president. Obama got rid of that. They got rid of that. Them single moms wasn't getting them big ass $6,000 and $7,000 income tax checks after Clinton. They weren't getting them big ass checks. So what did they do? They raised taxes on the middle class, and even under Obama, they raised taxes on the working poor. So everybody in the middle on down got to pay a higher tax rate than the motherfuckers at the top. Ain't that a bitch? And then they gonna give them an extra tax break that they didn't even ask for. But then they're going to say, oh, the federal government broke. We running a deficit. Duh. You're bringing in less money, you dumbass. If you ran your corporation that way, you would be going out of business. Now, wouldn't you? But it's okay for the whole goddamn financial infrastructure to be sitting on stilts right now. And these single moms are making videos on World Star and YouTube bragging about how much money they getting in welfare benefits. Section 8. You got women. I remember there's a lady that I went to high school with that's on that's a friend of mine, my Facebook friend. She said she had a friend. She got a corporate job making good money, working every day. Been working since we graduated from high school. She got a friend that's on welfare, that's on Section 8. This bitch drive a used Lexus. And she stay in a house that's as nice as the house she's buying. Can you believe that? And this bitch is making a career out of being a hoe. She is making a career out of running her vagina like an hourly motel in a small business. That shit gonna stop under Trump. That's what these black women are mad about. They ain't mad because, look, women are not really even mad at Trump. They're mad at Trump because him and Pence, a lot of that's coming from Pence too. Pence hates that feminism shit. He hates anything dealing with women not being in their goddamn place. That shit's coming from him. Him squashing all that LGBT shit, filing them lawsuits in court. So now the Supreme Court held that no transgender, they don't need that shit in the military. That shit ruins the morale and the continuity of interactive interactions between airmen and soldiers and sailors. That just ruins everything, because you got a motherfucker over here in a goddamn wig. And he's wearing he's wearing women, goddamn, if he got the dress A's on, you got, our dress A's in the Air Force, the women can wear a dress. It's a skirt. It goes all the way down to about right here at their knees. They can wear that. So some of the women, based on how they built, they still got hips and booty. They still look fine as hell. Some of the skinny broads, not so much. But you can still see how somebody's built. And you got a man, somebody is a man dressed up like that, sitting in your fucking office. You're going to be looking at this motherfucker like, I don't trust this dude. I don't trust this motherfucker. I don't trust this motherfucker because he don't trust himself. He don't trust the equipment God gave him. And now he on some other shit. And we supposed to waste billions of dollars trying to get this motherfucker right. Because see, the thing is, they were going to have to use federal funds for sex changes and all that shit in the military. I'm like, man, do you really want your tax dollars being used to cut somebody's dick off? Or add a dick to somebody's body? Or cutting somebody's breast off? Because they don't like who they are and they hate who they are. And now we're going to subsidize that shit. Hey, what's up? Hey, guys. What's up, guys? What are we doing here? We only had 2 people donate. What's up with that? Exactly. Cognitive dissonance. Which basically equates in the DSM-5 is you're delusional. Hey guys, get over there, asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate $3.99. Stop being cowardly. I expect more out of you. Don't, like I said, we're not in the 2019, we're not gonna put all the responsibility on the responsible parties. Do you understand me? So get your ass over there right now. Go to asktheiceman.com or hit the Cash App and donate $3.99. Damn it. Stop playing. You can hit the Cash App right now, or you can donate through go to PayPal if you got a PayPal account. But my donate button is connected directly to PayPal. Let's stop bullshitting around. See, black folks are always looking for something for free. See, in order to get your brain out of that mentality that somebody owe you something, or you're supposed to get something for nothing, that's why our dollars don't circulate. We always looking for a goddamn hookup. That's why I say, you know, if those of you who still waste your time voting, if you don't have a candidate, I don't care what color they are. If they're not talking about a black agenda that includes reparations, scholarships, private school scholarships, money to build schools, money to build infrastructure for the hood. If we're not talking about millions and billions of dollars of that shit, and I'm talking about not waiting on, oh, I got to get 2/3 votes in the Senate and all this shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because we got to have a strategy of cutting that money off. If you guys don't give us a black agenda, then we're gonna take that $1.3 trillion and we're gonna direct it back to us. Matter of fact, that's what we need to be doing anyway. And those of you who think your job is safe in private sector or public sector, it's not. You better hope you can get your 30 years in before you get downsized or laid off or terminated. The days of you sitting up there working till you got to go watch are over. That's over, fellas. I'm telling you. Those days are over with. The public sector getting lean and mean. You know, these state and federal jobs used to be protected. Now they're not. And I'm going to tell you right now, those of you at the federal level, Donald Trump, the word on the street is they're cutting federal jobs to save money. Remember, it's the people at the bottom that suffer when there's more money that has to be, you know, recovered for the federal government to operate. They're going to get that money. They're not going to raise taxes. Trump is not going to raise taxes. And if he does, it's going to be on poor people. So all that welfare balling that a lot of you black women did before Trump got in there, ain't gonna be none of that balling. Ain't gonna be none of that. I get $1,000 for TANF. I get $1,200 for EBT for food. I get a WIC. I get all this other stuff. They pay for my child care. I got a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. I only pay $50 a month. I get a subsidy of $150 subsidy for my gas and heat. I get $150 subsidy for electrical. Who's paying your electric bill over there, black man and black woman who's working? Anybody? Is the government paying your shit? So why would you feel comfortable sitting up here letting these black hoes and these hoes of any race sit up there and live like that? Like I said, we need to start. We need to influence. We need to start calling our congressmen and senators and say, look, y'all need to come up with some legislation so that welfare will only be 6 months or less. After that, they got to get there. They're already gonna cut that. They're already gonna cut that whatchamacallit money. They already gonna cut that SNAP money. They're gonna start sending them welfare cheese boxes out like they used to, like they did in the 90s. They're gonna go back to that because they ain't got no money to give you $1,000 a month for SNAP benefits, ladies. They don't have it. They ain't gonna tell us. They ain't gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't gonna tell you that the government is broke, because they know all they got to do is go call the mint and tell them to start printing some more 20s, some more 5s, some 10s and 20s, baby. With the 10s and the 20s on top and the 50s on bottom. The president called the mint and the mint say we got them. That's how it is, pimping. Player to player, pimp to pimp. They can print more money. Yeah, the inflation will be high. You know, you'll need a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills to get a loaf of bread, but who gives a fuck? You going back home with a loaf of bread. What you give a good goddamn? But we're headed to that. We're headed to escape from New York. And I'm telling you right now, who's going to get it popping is these poor whites. They don't look. I was alluding to this earlier. These poor cave dwellers, these Caucasoids. Let me explain something to you. They love Donald Trump. They don't hate him. He can do no wrong. They love Warren Buffett. It's more so, it's more than them just wanting to aspire to be that. The mayonnaise militia that's got their guns, their Bibles, and their trailer park. They aspire to be Warren Buffett. But we know they ain't gonna never get there. No, we do know that, right? That don't matter. That doesn't matter to them. And plus, to them, race first. Unlike you. Instead of being race first for you, you LGBT first, or you a woman first. And you can be on that bullshit and not end up being here in 20 years. Because it's going to come down to the survival of the most resources. If you have no resources, it's game over. Okay? Game over. It's a wrap. Ain't gonna be no freak 20, ain't gonna be no 10, 15 years riding the welfare rolls. Them days are over with. Trump and Pence is putting an end to that. And thankfully so. Because welfare makes lazy ass people. Instead, give me them resources to teach me how to be a goddamn farmer. Or teach me how to be a nurse. I'd rather take that money, send me to school. Send me in school, pay for most of my school, and I'll get this degree. Instead of giving me some shit where I could sit down all day and look at commercials all day. Or I'm laying there with my legs open with Walmart Tavius beating that pussy up. Him and Darnisha love each other. That's what we're headed to. Escape from New York. Let me tell you something about these Caucasoids. They can't tolerate being fucked over like we can. We've had 400 years of practice. They haven't. So when they figure out that there's nothing for them, it's going to be anarchy. They already got too many guns and ammunition. You might want to stock up on your shit. Because a lot of niggas going to get caught slipping. They already catching niggas slipping out here in these streets, popping caps in them. Some of y'all gonna get caught slipping. Because a lot of y'all like to live that mentality that there ain't no dangers out here. There ain't no economic dangers out here for you. Everything is perfect because you can whip out that credit card and a pizza party appears at your house Friday night for your kids and all the kids around the neighborhood that you feed. You better recognize those days are coming. The purge is coming. And they gonna get it popping because and guess who they gonna jump on? They ain't gonna jump on Warren Buffett. They ain't gonna jump on Trump. You know who they gonna jump on? Your black ass and my black ass. They gonna jump on us. Yeah, but Sancho and them and Maria and them might catch a couple of caps. But the ass whooping is gonna be directed at us. And it's already started. The race war, Rahowa, has already started. You just ain't paying attention because you think it's gonna go over your head. Cause you don't roll like that. You ain't a thug. It ain't got nothing to do with you being a thug. Let me tell you something. It wouldn't make it would make a white man. It wouldn't make him more happy than to be able to kill a black man who's the head of his family, and his wife and children depend on his paycheck to live the life that the middle class lifestyle that they had. He would be so happy to cancel his contract and ruin that family like that. They would love it. But they know the risk of trying to shoot him is going to be a lot higher than shooting you or one of your children. That's how they get down. They're cowards. So they're going to go after the most vulnerable, which is whom? The women and the children. That's why these Asians are beating the brakes off of black women, because you have no protection. You have no physical protection. They know the politics of your neighborhood better than you do. They know that these black men, they know that you hate black men and you only use black men. And they know that you're the bane of the black people's existence. And they know that you're going to continue to keep giving them money for bundles. But they also know that the black man's not going to put a cape on and fly down there and protect you. Like I said, you are at the level where they can say and do anything physically to you, and there not be any, there won't be any blowback. They know they can do that. What's the next level? Kill you. Why? Because there's no retribution. Remember that Asian woman in that store in South Central LA back then when they shot that Natasha Harling in the back of the head, and the bitch lied, talking about she stole some orange juice, when clearly in the video, the girl didn't steal shit from her, from that raggedy ass store. But she felt she can do that because she felt there would be no retribution. Well, let me tell you something. California niggas are different, especially South Central and Bay Area niggas. We ride. They had that store closed in 24 hours. They had to move that bitch back to South Korea. They did. She had to relocate back to South Korea because niggas in California don't play that shit like the rest of you niggas. Some of y'all niggas get down, but not like we do. See, we don't have that kind of energy right now. We got a lot of coon energy. We got a lot of kumbaya energy. We got a lot of little beta male energy. We got too much blue pill energy and not enough red pill. Oh, but that's going to change because Trump is going to put black folks in a position that everybody who's taking care of their money, we're going to be telling you what to do. But it's best you come back home and let us tell you what to do than for you to be over there with Charlie, with him locking your black ass up, because he don't have nothing for you. He ain't got no resources for you. All he got is that prison cell for you. And if you want to get tangled up in that bullshit, you go right ahead. You got to understand. I'm going to say this in closing. Kamala Harris has a big, she's hugely popular in the law enforcement community. She's highly popular with county governments. She's highly popular in the prison, private prison industry. They gave her money. You don't be popular with private prisons, law enforcement, county governments, and state government outfits. You don't get popular with those kinds of people unless you're a Republican and you're about republicanism, white supremacy, and you're willing to be a shill for them. You understand where I'm going with this? Now, in closing, you can talk about, oh, well, she's an AKA and she's claiming to be a black woman. Well, yeah, she's an AKA. The AKA, their organization at the at the corporate level, and it's a classy organization. Yeah, you got some sorry hoes that's in the sorority, like my ex-wife. You got raggedy bitches and everything, but for the most part, they're very classy, elegant women, especially the older ones, my age and older. They're about that business. Okay. And that's probably why she wanted to join. I don't know what her reasons for going to Howard University were, but oh well. But that doesn't make her black, because you got white people that go to Howard. So that's bullshit. So you can't look at her being an AKA and her being supposedly half black, and that be a reason for you to support her, and yet she's popular amongst private prison executives and law enforcement. You don't become a buddy of law enforcement unless you let them get away with a lot of shit, which she did. She gave the police a green light to kill us in California as attorney general and as prosecutor before that. She handled a lot of cases where there was a high level of police misconduct, and she still let those people languish in prison, even though they should have been immediately released because they were framed. And it was proven by other law enforcement agencies that there was police misconduct, and that these cops ought to go to jail. And she didn't even prosecute them. And she let those people languish in prison for years until they got a new trial or got released. That's the Kamala Harris you thinking about supporting. I hope you listen to the part 1 and part 2 of these live streams and do your homework, because what I'm trying to tell you is this: she is not of the people. She is she's a Republican in sheep's clothing. She's a white supremacist shill in sheep's clothing. And you can get caught up in her being a woman of color, because there's no such thing as a woman of color when it comes to black people. It's just us. You have no coalition. There is no minority coalition of women of color. It's just you. These other people use you to get your ass kicked by the police and get out there and protest. But when it's time to start cutting them checks and getting the bag, everybody else's group get paid except for you. So you can go ahead and keep playing that kumbaya game if you want to, and support Kamala Harris. But I told y'all, Republicans and Democrats are just two sides of the same coin. Bill Clinton said he was a Democrat, but everything he did as president for 8 years, he did more conservative shit than he did anything else, including creating billions and trillions of dollars for the private prison industry. With 3 strikes, you're out. That was him. Child support. all that was directed at black or indirected at black men. So you can go ahead and support Kamala Harris because you're either stupid, because you can, if you listen to this, look at this live stream, you know better. Both of these live streams, you know better. Okay? You know better. Maybe you just don't care. This woman does not support black people. She despises black people. And how can I say this? She identifies as a Indian person. She identifies as an Indian woman. The only family she deals with is her mother's family, the Indians, and they can't stand blacks. And they made that clear because they don't fear an ass whooping from us. See, you have to understand something. These other races, they know our get down. They know 9 times out of 10, when we face injustice, all we're gonna do is march and protest. We ain't gonna do nothing else. We ain't trying to get the bag. We ain't trying to get the bag. We're just trying to get attention and acceptance from white zaddy and white mommy. We want a pat on the head. That's what the Roland Martins are all about. Roland Martin just wants to show the Democratic Party that he can be of some use. He's a useful idiot because that he gets consulting money from the Democratic Party whenever one of their candidates hires his consulting company. So as you can see, people like Roland Martin only look out for themselves. They're self-serving. They don't care about the whole black race. All they care about is themselves. How can I make millions? But that's why old roly-poly baby is very unpopular amongst black people. He's very unpopular because everybody knows he's a coon. When he got up there and started buck dancing for Hillary Clinton, I dance for massa. When he got up there doing all this with Hillary Clinton on BET, that ruined him. That ruined him. That was even before TV One fired his fat ass. Can't support no motherfucker like that. We got to get rid of niggas like that. All the coons like that, we got to get rid of them niggas. Because they are in direct line. They are direct interference if we trying to get reparations and shit like that. Ain't nobody gonna take us seriously with motherfuckers like Rolly the Boule bird hanging around. They're gonna fuck it up for us because they're gonna be the buffer that runs back to Massa saying, hey, Hillary, them niggas over there, they plotting. They're gonna find a way to get them reparations, or the whole American economy is gonna suffer. See, that's why they feared Dr. King. They had to take Dr. King out because Dr. King was talking about reparations at the last 3 or 4 years of his life. He was talking about, we got to get this money. That's what he was working on. He was working on going back to DC saying, fuck this integration shit. We got the civil rights bill. Now, this is how we going to make all this shit work. You need to kick us down a check because we ain't got no boots to pull bootstraps up from. That's what Dr. King was really on. They just been hiding the rest of his legacy and those speeches where he talked. A couple live streams ago, what I did, I played for you on my iPad. I played Dr. King talking about macroeconomics and how America owes blacks. He was talking about getting that money. And they said, oh, that nigga got to go. They had to get Marcus Garvey out of here because he was getting black folks doing business with countries in Africa. Our African brothers and sisters are waiting on us to start doing business with them. But black people are so selfish. Black Americans is the most selfish motherfuckers on the planet. We selfish with our own families. That selfish, that individualism, that collective individualism is destroying black society. And that's why it's so easy for them to slip an Obama in there for us to support, or in this case, Kamala Harris, who's Obama 2.0. It's easy to slip them in there when you ain't paying attention and you more concerned about partying than building legacies. You too busy spending every dime you get and the credit card money on dumb shit. Turning up all the time. And then when Trump get in there and the party gets shut down, after we was getting Obama phones and all this welfare money off the dinner from Obama's ass. And as soon as Trump got in there, he was like, oh, party's over. The ghetto fabulous train has ran off the track. That has derailed. No more ghetto fabulous. See, niggas saw that movie Friday with Chris Tucker and Ice Cube and say, I want to live ghetto fabulous like that. Ain't no more of that living ghetto fabulous shit. Niggas gonna be broke in the streets if you want to depend on the government and these corporate plantations for jobs and resources. You're gonna be hurting in the next 3 to 5 years. I had an uncle, he said to me, he said, Ice, get ready to end up taking care of your siblings and some of these other folks in the family. Because as you see, these niggas ain't got no money coming in the rest of their life. They ain't got no retirement coming in. They ain't got no disability check from the VA coming in. Them niggas got to continue to work, but every dime they make, they going on taking hoes on cruises and, you know, buying them drinks at the Shark Bar. Because black folks care more about getting attention and getting likes on Facebook or being popular than we do building an economy that can take care of all of us. Name one Asian ghetto in America. Now, I know Asians, you know, especially if you know in Chinatown, a lot of these Chinatown areas like San Francisco, LA, New York City, you know, it's kind of nasty because that's how they live in their countries. They ain't the cleanest motherfuckers. But that's still not the ghetto. Everybody, all their people are welcome in their community. Whereas we ain't got shit. We just in an area. It ain't our community. We just live there. That's why the police can act as occupiers instead of the police. They're acting like occupiers, stopping black folks for no reason, arresting black people for no reason. They can get away with that shit when the men are not there. When the cat's away, the mice will play. won't they? Hey, Jeremy Binion. Hey, man, hey, why you playing games, homie? Why you playing games, dog? I need to get that donation tonight, man. You need to go over there to PayPal or hit the Cash App and donate $3.99, dog. You trying to play them games, dog. You done turned into Timmy Diamonds. Timmy Diamond's been donating, not every time, but most of the time. Where can I get the ends, brother? You dipped on me the last time when I called your ass out. Hey, dog, that's not cool, man. Do you want me to block you? Jeremy Binion, do you want me to block you? Dude, you need to donate tonight or you're going to get blocked. Do you understand? Look, I don't like dishonest motherfuckers, man. Don't say you're going to do something and then dip. Because I'm going to remember, as you can see. And you won't be welcome. So if you think you can sneak around here and duck around here and listen here and listen there, nigga, you ain't getting over on me, dog. You digs? And remember, when you act like a nigga, you hurt the people over here who have been donating. When you act like a nigga trying to get out of donate. Do you understand me? If you don't kick me down tonight, I'm going to block you. So when we do the Player Circle podcast this Saturday, your name you're going to be blocked. I'm going to personally put your username in there so you can't look at any of my shit. You can't be in the chat room. You can't go back and listen to none of my videos. Is that what you looking to do? Well, I need to get them ends tonight, dog. I hope we understand each other. I ain't going to say nothing else to you. But Kamala Harris is an agent. She's an agent for the white supremacist elite in this country. She is a shill for the Democrat and Republican Party because that money that goes to these candidates, that money comes from multiple donors, Republican and Democrat. It ain't just the Koch brothers and it ain't just George Soros. There's a lot of people that donate to Republicans and Democrats because they're looking for favors. See, black folks don't know how to play. You don't know how to play the game, dude. You don't know how to play the game to win. You know how to play the game to lose. And that's why you're comfortable with welfare. You're comfortable with welfare and Section 8, black woman, because you don't have any aspirations of doing nothing but getting over. Getting over on black men at the expense of black men. That shit ends in 2019. That ends this year. You're going to have to put some respect on niggas' names. Or you're going to have to go. And if you think I'm playing, one guy put up a hashtag and put up a couple live streams and have damn near destroyed Kamala Harris's campaign before it even in its infancy. That's how easy the internet can ruin your ass. Now they're trying to hit his ass from every direction possible with hit pieces. But all they doing is keeping his name in their mouth. That's making him money. That's free advertisement. One guy did that. One guy helped expose this woman for the garbage that she is. Just think if 10 of us did it. And you can see I'm doing my part right here. Making sure the word gets out. that this woman is a fraud. She's an agent, and she ain't no black woman. Even if she was, both her parents were black, she is cave person, cave Caucasoid on the inside and black on the outside. What does that make her? An Oreo. And a lot of you are them same kind of Oreos. That's why you don't want to support black-owned businesses. You don't want to do anything with your people, because you know tomorrow you got to get up tomorrow and get get up under white daddy's ball sack and white mommy's titties for that job. You got to go and yes, sir. I dance with massa. I dance with massa. I dance for massa. You got to do that for 8, 10, 12 hours tomorrow. So you can be pro-black, you know, for the next 10 minutes, but then you got to go to bed. When you get up, you got to go back to coon. You got to get your mind back in the coon mode. So you can put up with that caveman and that cave woman all day. That's the way you cope with dealing with that Neanderthal. So go and get your rest, dog, so you can go ahead and get your rest, man. I don't want to keep you up, because I know you got to have your strength. So when you get to go in there into that corporate plantation, you got to be able to keep your eyes open. If you haven't gone over to PayPal, if you haven't gone over to AskTheIceman.com and donated tonight, get over there and get it done, please. Otherwise, you can hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App, y'all. You can do that too. You digs? Because that's how we getting down. In 2019, y'all, we want tangibles for the 2020 election. And if none of those candidates, Republican or Democrat or independent, this Howard Schultz, he ain't gonna do shit for you. He's a billionaire. Just because he's a mild-mannered guy doesn't mean he ain't a billionaire asshole just like Donald Trump. He's just a nicer version. He ain't gonna do nothing for you either. Okay? And when these poor whites figure out that Donald Trump done screwed them, and they have less resources than they had before he got in office, they not going to take it out on him. They going to take it out on us. So I hope you got your GAT. I hope you got you an AR or AK. I hope you got like 100, 200 rounds. Well, 200 rounds ain't nothing. I hope you got some rounds. You got some clips. Because I'm going to tell you right now, anarchy with these poor whites and lower middle class whites, why you think they're attacking these schools? They're attacking these schools that they public and private. That is, you look up that book, The Turner Diaries, talks about blowing up schools, shooting up schools and churches, because that's where black people congregate. But shooting up schools, shooting up other Caucasoids is just fine, because what they're trying to show the government structure, the people at the federal level and the state level, that we mean business. We want our money. You understand me? It's the ballot or the bullet, baby. One or the other when it comes to them. They ain't cowards like we are. We gonna vote our way out of this. Well, you go ahead and vote your way. Try to vote your way out of it. We're gonna be over here stacking resources and making sure we're in a position to buy you out. Okay? You're tuning into the Iceman Show, the Player Circle podcast this Saturday afternoon. This Saturday afternoon, be in the place. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I'm your host, the Iceman. You've been on the ride. You've been on the ride on a big train. We'll see you on Saturday. One love. Black first.